Welcome. You're here because you want to grow your local Epic card game community. And I'm going to tell you that there are a number of different ways to do it. The first way to start off is, well, just teach all of your friends how to play. You can perhaps organize some events. I would recommend draft once you get a group of players that actually know how to play. And your friends who play other card games are probably a good place to start. But let's say you've already done that and you only still have a couple people interested, or you're like me where a lot of your friends are very competitive card gamers, and so unless they can get in full force into the game where like there's weekly constructed events for them to play in and earn prizes, then they're just not going to be interested. The way to grow your local community is, from the bottom up. You got to grow it grassroots style, where you're just teaching people how to play. And let's face it, you only know so many people. You can teach all your friends how to play, but that's going to limit who you're going to be able to teach, because you already know all the people that you know, and you've probably already shared things about Epic on your Facebook, or told your friends about it, or invited them to come play. So how can you branch out beyond that? Well, how you do it is by running a demo. And that's kind of going to tell you about what I do. I run demos for Epic Card Game. I'm going to try to run more and more for my local community. And there's different ways to go about it, sure. But I'm going to just kind of give you some tips on what's worked best for me. First of all, you want to get some materials together. You need to have everything together to be able to run an Epic demo. And the first most important thing is a set of Epic. This is my set of Epic. It's just the base set. It's I got it double sleeved because that's just my style, and the shuffle's easier for me. But I mean, you don't have to sleeve it even. You could just keep a demo copy. But one full copy of a set is great, and you can run 2 demos at once with that. If you want to run more than 1 demo at once, obviously it's going to take more people. I would not recommend yourself trying to run a demo for 2 people simultaneously. If you're going to do that, get a friend to be the second, and run a demo, side by side or across the room or wherever. And you can do that with 1 box of Epic, because the format that I recommend you play is just use the base set cards, because it's going to minimize the complexity, and just shuffle random 30. That way they can get a good feel for the different factions, what the different factions do, and it actually makes it dynamic in terms of your loyalty cards. Some of them you're going to be able to do it, some of them you won't. They'll be able to see the advantage of playing multiple colors, and then know probably the inherent advantage of playing all the colors. So I would definitely recommend that. Second thing you want is some kind of incentive. I have some signage that I've made. I was able to make this signage at Staples. It was pretty cheap. I mean, there's probably other places like that, Office Depot, Kinko's, wherever you've got locally. I mean, your own printer at home. For me, I don't own a printer because I hardly print anything, and when I do, it's just more cost effective in the long run to just go print it someplace, because it was only a couple bucks to print all this stuff. And the signage I was able to get at Staples as well. There's probably other places you can get it, but it's just this little sign. It says, it's nice and simple. Learn to play Epic Card Game. Have a chance to win your own copy. So, that draws people in. They're like, oh, wait, I want to check this game out because maybe I can, win a free copy. That sounds cool. I'm not just playing this game. I might not like it. But hey, at least maybe there's some potential there. I mean, this is for card game players. So card game players like to get lucky sometimes. So it's nice to have that. I also have a second sign that I put up. It's a quick little how to play Epic that I made. And the main reason I have that as a sign is because maybe other people are walking by, or they want to play the next game, or they just walk up in the middle and they want to know what's going on. This is going to get them up to speed and go, oh, okay, I kind of see how the basics are. Plus, if they're already pretty veteran card game players, then it's going to let them know what all it can do. So have a chance to win. So something I bring along with me is I bring along for some things to give away. You can get these online for about $10. And honestly, $10 for demoing all day is all it really costs. You don't have to give away one to every person that shows up. What I do is I have this sheet of paper here that I get, and I I just write down everyone's name. When they sit down for the demo, I introduce myself. I say, hey, my name is Kyle. What's your name? And I tell them, hey, if you participate in this demo today, we're going to be giving away a free copy to somebody at random. Can I put your information down for that? And I just get their name. I also get their email. You can get their phone number. It's good to get some kind of contact info, because then you can keep up with them. Like, you're making contacts, you're making friends. If you get someone's email, it makes it super easy to actually search for them on Facebook or some other social media if you're interested in connecting them with them later. If you want to add them, like there's a Facebook group for like Epic, and I'll usually make new friends, add them, and then I'll add them to the Facebook group, or I even have my own local Epic Facebook group that I have to keep people updated on, just what's going on in Epic in general, but also let them know about, any local events or demos that we have going on. Get their info, and then I usually also ask them what other card games they play, because that's important when you're running a demo, is to understand the point of reference that they're coming from. If they tell you, oh, I've played Magic, or I've played Hearthstone, or I've played Yu-Gi-Oh, or whatever, and honestly, you need to make yourself a little bit familiar with those games, it's easier to teach it. Because then when you're playing, you go, oh, Blitz is like Haste. If they play Magic, they can just understand what that is. Or if they play Yu-Gi-Oh, you can say, oh, well, like Breakthrough is kind of like piercing, or whatever. You can give them an example, and then they can understand the similarities to their game. Other than that, I also printed off these, and I didn't even have to spend time making these. It's what's called the Epic One Sheet. You can get it on the White Wizard Games website when you go to their rules page. It's just a little one sheet, and you can hand that to them. And I printed off a few of them and laminated them so that they're durable. I can reuse them, and then also I have a couple to hand out, so we can run multiple demos. If I have a couple friends helping me, we can have one per table. If you even have four, and you're all sitting together, then you can kind of pass them around as people need them. People walking up, if they are interested. They can look it up. Plus, it's nice to give people, if they're drafting for the first time, maybe they played a demo and now you want to do a draft. Well, you can show them, okay, if you need to look up the abilities to know what the cards actually do that you're drafting, just have this next to you. So when I do that, I usually have when I do the demo, I have a couple of play mats laying out just so they can see, oh, this is like a legit game. I have the card box next to the side, which is a great card box. I'm not a fan of the sleeves, but that's just because I've been playing card games for a long time, so I have my preference of sleeves, and I imagine if you've been playing card games a long time, you have your preference of sleeves, so you don't exactly want to use the Epic sleeves that come in the box, but it's a great box. So I actually use them, and I give them away at these demos, and so now they're like, oh, free sleeves, I might as well use them. They'll put them on their deck. Maybe they'll put them on their Epic deck if they bought an Epic deck or got one for free. But also, maybe they'll put it on their Magic deck at 60 cards. And it's like, oh, like someone can, maybe they're next FNM, someone's asking them, hey, Epic, what are those sleeves? What is that? And then, they can explain to them that, hey, I played in this demo and there's this cool new card game out that's like fun, you could be interested in it. But other than that, just run a demo. Some good advice for running a demo. First of all, just be friendly, personal, fun, intelligent. Because guess what? You're not so much selling the game, you're selling yourself. Because they're going to think, okay, this is the kind of people that I'm going to be playing against if I play this game. And if you're fun and inviting, then they're thinking this game is fun and inviting. So, that's just basic salesmanship. People are going to buy you, not so much the product. You got to tell them why it's great, sure. But if you're friendly, they're going to want it. If you're rude, then they're probably going to think, the people that play this game are rude. I don't want to play this game. So that's something to do. Keep it simple is another great piece of advice. Don't go over all the rules. In fact, the best way to demo is you go over the least amount of rules possible. Tell them only what they need to know. If they have a question, sure, answer their question. But don't tell them anything unless it's happening to come up like right then. And sometimes I even gloss over things if they do something incorrectly. Like it was my turn and my opponent was like, I was thinking about what I wanted to do during my main phase. And he was just like, I want to draw 2 cards. And I'm like, okay, sure, whatever, do that, and then I'm going to just finish doing my thing. Sure, it's not like completely correct, but you can bring it up later down the road. If you nitpick every little thing that they do all the time and be like, well, technically, blah, 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 like you need to do it this way, then it can kind of like get them off the rails and distracted, and now they're like confused. Whereas like you just don't bring up things if it doesn't matter, you know. For example, I don't even get to like attacking in a group until like turn 5 or 6 when I'm doing a demo, because first of all, it's usually not even relevant till then. But secondly, you know, I wouldn't even mention, hey, it's an option. Just say, hey, you know, you can attack, and if they attack all at once, then let them. If they attack one at a time, then let them. You know, because you can do it either way. You know, but maybe at some point, once they've gotten the hang of it, then you can give extra things for them to think about. Say, hey, in Epic, it's pretty cool. The combat's dynamic, and you can attack this way or attack this way. And here's an example of why you might want to attack this way, and here's an example of why you want to attack this way. So that's something to think about while you're thinking about what you want to attack with. You know, it's good to point it out, but don't bog them down with information that they don't need. Just give them the simple stuff. But at the end, just ask them, you know, did you enjoy this game? You know, what did you like about it? What did you dislike about it? Maybe they'll say, I dislike this about it, but then you can say, oh, well, actually, you know, that's not entirely true. You know, this or that and the other, you know, you shouldn't have to worry about that so much. You know, maybe someone's worried about like something that went down in the game being, you know, overpowered. You know, you can tell them, oh, well, there's also this in the game, and sure, it might not have come up this game, but, you know, if you're playing constructed or drafting, you can build your deck towards this to be able to fight against that. You know, it's not completely random. Another suggestion I would make is don't just completely wreck them, because honestly, you can't get mana screwed in this game or anything like that. So it's a very skill-intensive game. So don't just completely roll them over, because you want to have a fun, dynamic game. If you can drag out, if the game's going to end real quick, because it's one of those weird quick games of Epic, which is honestly the exception most of the time. It's a long, drawn-out game, in my opinion, from what I've experienced. But if it's a quick game, you know, maybe pull some punches and don't just get them too fast. You know, show them that, you know, there's some more interesting things going on in the game. Or if, you know, they're just really doing something awesome, you know, and they're going to blow you out real hard, maybe then play a board wipe to just kind of keep the game going. You want to have a little bit of a back and forth. It's honestly best if they win, but I mean, I don't always win. Like sometimes I beat them when I do a demo, so you know, it's not like a hard and fast rule, but you don't want to just have it be a completely one-sided game. It'd be like if you're teaching somebody how to play Magic, and like instead of having a stacked deck, which honestly I recommend if you're teaching that game, you just shuffle up a bunch of random cards and they get mana screwed their first game. They're not going to have any fun. They're just going to be sitting there not doing anything. So that doesn't really happen in Epic, but like I said, a good example would be is if you just outplay them really hard at every point and make it no fun for them, because they felt like at no point they had a chance to win. If they at least felt like they had a chance to win, then when they walk away, they're going to think, I actually want to play that again, because like I feel like I could have won. That's going to bring them back. So just be friendly. Talk to your local game store. Get them to carry the product, because that's so important if you're running demos. Because you can turn that into a sale. Let the game store know, hey, I want to run these demos, but it'd be really good if you had some product on hand. That way I can, you know, show them to your point of sale place so that they can actually, you know, buy this game off of you. Because if they walk away and they really love the game, maybe and you don't carry it, and you don't know when you're going to get it in, you just say, oh, I think we'll get it in at some point. They might just go buy it online, and that's not what you want. And it's good for your local game store to stock it, because people are going to see it. Oh, the game store supports it as well. And if you're having trouble getting your game store to stock it or support it, I mean, if you're like me and you already own all your Epic stuff, then it's harder to do this, you know, unless you really just want to buy a second collection. But one thing you can do if you haven't bought like a full constructed collection is that, you know, realizing the fact that most game stores have a 50% markup. That means that, you know, if they buy something for $5 from their distributor, they sell it to $10, you know, to the customer. Well, it so happens that the boxes are perfectly crafted for the cases that Epic comes in. For the starter set, it comes with 6 copies, and for the booster sets expansions, it comes with 6 copies of each booster. Well, you can tell the game store, hey, if you buy this, I guarantee you I'll buy half the product, so that you can keep your initial investment for your markup. Because guess what? If you're going to buy a constructed collection from them, you buy half of the box. Maybe you go in halvesies. If they won't even do that, with one of your friends. You get a friend into it and say, hey, let's buy Epic. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good because of all these things that are coming out with it. Go in on half on this case with me. And so then maybe they're like, the game store will think, oh, well, I sold the whole case. I might as well buy a second one. Because, that they've already broken even. If they buy two and sell half, they're thinking, okay, I have more potential sales. Plus, if you're telling them we're going to be doing this game, it's a great game, we're going to support it, then, you show them that there's going to be interest and they're going to make sales, because that's really what the game store is probably all about. I mean, not everyone that runs a game store has like the best business sense, but in the end, they're in it to make money. So if you can show them what's in it for them, then they're going to be interested. Just like if you show the player what's in it for them, they're going to want to play Epic. Tell them about the digital app that's coming about. Tell them about the $100,000 World Championship. Tell them about, it's basically Magic without Mana Screw or Yu-Gi-Oh without broken combos, and why it's a fun game to play. But just tell them why you love to play Epic. Have fun playing Epic. Have some energy. Get your coffee in before you do it, and just make it fun and show some new people, because you can only reach so many people yourself. I mean, that's a secret to anything. You look at whoever's successful, they'll tell you that you got to realize that you're a small piece to the whole. And so, if you can get this one guy who's really big in his Yu-Gi-Oh group to play Epic, and he's kind of a leader and the other people listen to him and follow him and what he does in his community, if you can get that guy to play Epic, then he's going to be able to get 6 or so other people to play Epic. And if you can do that for the different communities and the different local game stores in your area, you can build a community actually pretty well. So my suggestion is just get out there, do it, do a little bit of planning, do a little pre-marketing, make a Facebook event or some, go on other social media, whatever you use, and just get out there, let people know about the game. It's a great game, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for watching.